Video footage of what some are calling a pair of chupacabras. U.S. government collects a record amount of taxes, but still manages to run a huge deficit. And new software allows you to control what Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin say. This is SkyWatch TV for Thursday, April 14th, 2016. I'm Derek Gilbert. First up, Syrian rebels apparently shot down a Russian attack helicopter Monday near the city of Homs, even though the chopper was equipped with state-of-the-art air defense system. Rebels using a shoulder-mounted anti-aircraft missile to bring down the helicopter. This is a disturbing development because, as we've said before, if rebels in Syria have their hands on man-pads, commercial aircraft in the Mideast are not safe. U2 frontman Bono has a novel idea for confronting the Islamic State. Bono, addressing a U.S. Senate subcommittee on Tuesday for some reason, suggested comedy. He said that laughing at the Islamic State would take away its power. So he suggests deploying Chris Rock, Amy Schumer, and Sacha Baron Cohen. File that under not a clue. Meanwhile, ISIS just put out a hit list targeting moderate Muslims, including Hillary Clinton's top aide, Huma Abedin. The list was published in the new edition of the Islamic State's official magazine, Dabiq. They also, in the edition, celebrated the terror attack in Brussels. U.S. Congressman Keith Ellison of Minnesota, also on that hit list. Another day, another revelation from the Panama Papers. We learned today that a private military contractor, Triple Canopy, which was awarded a $1 billion contract to protect U.S. diplomats in Iraq back in 2010, sold the State Department on its services in part because it was a U.S.-owned private company, thus providing value and accountability because it would be subject to laws to enforce U.S. legal and policy considerations. But now we know that thanks to the release of the Panama Papers, Triple Canopy, just before this bid meeting, had acquired a company registered in the British Virgin Islands by the Panamanian law firm Mossack Fonseca, from whom the papers come, specifically to avoid U.S. legal and policy considerations. Now, sadly, this isn't all that unusual. As we mentioned last week, it appears that the people being outed by the Panama Papers, by a George Soros-funded group of journalists, by the way, are enemies of powerful bankers and globalists. So in other words, the Panama Papers is not a heroic act of whistleblowing and investigative journalism, but a sophisticated intelligence operation intended to take down some very powerful people. On Wednesday, a financial whistleblower named Bradley Birkenfeld, a former employee of the Swiss bank UBS who helped the Internal Revenue Service blow the lid off of secret Swiss bank accounts being used as tax shelters, told CNBC in an interview that he's convinced the CIA is behind the Panama Papers release. Said that all the names he's seen are from countries that have tense relations with the U.S., Russia, China, Pakistan, Argentina, no Americans. Now, he was asked about the father of UK Prime Minister David Cameron, whose name was also found in those papers. He said that Cameron may just be collateral damage of a bigger intelligence op. But again, it might just be that those who are named in the Panama Papers are not enemies of the state, as it were, but enemies of powerful global bankers. In Jerusalem, a public reenactment of the Passover sacrifice will take place near the Temple Mount next Monday. The Paschal reenactment will attract a number of prominent rabbis and public figures, including members of the Knesset, the deputy mayor of Jerusalem, and the chief rabbi of Jerusalem, Rabbi Aryeh Stern. A lamb will be slaughtered in accordance with rabbinical teachings, and its blood and fats offered on a model altar by actual Kohanim, priests who can trace their lineage all the way back to Aaron, the brother of Moses. A Jewish wedding ceremony recently took place on the Temple Mount, only the second in the over 2,000 years. The Temple Institute announced this Tuesday, said that it played a part in organizing this ceremony, had to be performed on the Temple Mount without drawing the attention of Israeli police or the Muslim guards who patrol the Temple Mount. And a bit of good news for Jewish immigrants from the U.S. who are now living in Israel. They can finally buy Ziploc bags. Now, for you and me in the United States, that sounds like no big deal, but as one shopper told Arutz Sheva News, that until a few years ago, these little self-sealing bags that we're used to here in the U.S. were completely unavailable in Israel. And until a few days ago, the ones they could find were of poor quality and very high priced. The United States government collected a record amount of tax revenue in the first half of fiscal 2016, $1.48 trillion, and yet still managed to run a budget deficit of $461 billion. Meanwhile, economic indicators are turning red, things looking a little grim for the months ahead. Bankers are getting nervous, in fact. Federal Reserve Board of Governors had an expedited special meeting Monday behind closed doors. The White House made an announcement immediately afterward that President Obama and Vice President Biden would have a closed-door meeting with Fed Chair Janet Yellen. Now, this is unusual. U.S. presidents don't normally meet with the chair of the Federal Reserve. In fact, the last time President Obama met with Janet Yellen was in November of 2014. The Fed then posted an announcement of another expedited closed-door meeting on Tuesday for bank supervisory issues. Don't know what that means. It's expected that as banks begin reporting earnings for the first quarter, that they will report the worst financial quarter since the start of the Great Recession in 2007, which is discouraging because, as you remember, in 2008, we were told that we had to bail them out to the tunes of hundreds of billions of dollars because they were too big to fail. Well, some analysts looking at this news pointed to a recent uptick in the Baltic Dry Index as a good sign. The Baltic Dry Index, we've talked about before, it's a rough indicator of the cost of shipping bulk raw materials, the basic building blocks of manufacturing and food production. It tends to be a leading indicator for the economy. If it's trending up, the economy will generally follow later. But as you take a longer view, as we stretch out the timeline over which we analyze the BDI, doesn't look like an uptick as much as a dead cat bounce, especially when you put it side by side with other indicators like Chinese freight and shipping indices, both of which are, dropping into the tank. Not good. Another indicator, retail sales for the first quarter, trending down, back into recession territory again. And another bit of bad news. Peabody Coal, the world's largest coal producer, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection Wednesday. The company employs about 8,300 workers around the world. Now, not all of its operations are part of the bankruptcy filing. Its operations in Australia are excluded. The company says it's got about $100 billion in debt, but sufficient liquidity, cash on hand, to continue operations. And they've picked up some emergency funding from Citi. It's what's called debtor in possession funding. Citi gives about $800 million to Peabody, and then Citi is first in line to get its money back when the bankruptcy is discharged and they start paying off creditors. Peabody is just the latest in a string of major coal producers that have filed for bankruptcy over the last year and a half or so. Alpha Resources, Walter Energy, Arch Coal, Patriot Coal, James River Coal, all filing for bankruptcy. Bear in mind now that coal still produces about 40% of the world's electricity, but a combination of low natural gas prices, a global glut of metallurgical coal due to a drop in demand for steel, and new tough environmental regulations in the United States, all combining to put the hurt on the coal industry. But now a shift of gears, and hopefully for a smile. As bad as things are economically, at least be thankful you don't have to deal with mythical blood-sucking monsters. This video, reportedly recorded in Kazakhstan, claims to show two chupacabras. Villagers somewhere in Kazakhstan appear to be speaking a dialect of Chinese, so they are presumed to be the Dungan people. Those are Muslims of Chinese origin. Now, these look like cats to me. And in fact, one of the villagers in the Chinese translation said, these are cats that have just been dead for a while. They've bloated a little bit. But other villagers say, oh no, they've been killing our cattle at night by sucking out the blood. Now, typically, chupacabras are reportedly seen only in Central and South America, although there have been accounts from as far away as Russia. Here in the U.S., a strange hoax is leading fast food restaurant employees to smash out the windows of their stores. Police called to a Burger King in suburban Minneapolis last Friday night found workers busily smashing out the plate glass windows. Restaurant manager very nervously told police that they'd been called by a representative from the fire department, a fire official, telling them to smash out the windows because gas was leaking in the store, and if they didn't break the windows out, there would be an explosion. Police officer told the manager that the manager of a Burger King in Shawnee, Oklahoma, had been told the same thing the night before. and that it cost the manager of that store about $10,000 to fix the windows. Similar hoaxes have been played out recently at a Jack in the Box in Tucson, a Wendy's in Phoenix, and a Burger King in Morro Bay, California, where the quick-thinking manager drove his car into the front of the store to prevent the gas explosion. And finally, new software may make video evidence inadmissible in a court of law in the future. Computer scientists have figured out how to control the face of anyone in any video by superimposing your mouth onto that picture. Apparently works with any camera, any recorded video. And I can tell you that we here at SkyWatch TV are eagerly awaiting a copy of the software, because if you think Tom Horn and Steve Quayle are interesting now, just wait. The month of April, we are very proud to be releasing the new memoir from Nita Horn called No Fences. It tells the story of how a plastic pony inspired what is now Whispering Ponies Ranch, the ministry supported by SkyWatch TV. The official release date of the book, April 19th. It's available for pre-order now. When you order the book, you receive a free journal, a $20 value, and a plastic pony. And the value of the plastic pony is something you have to read No Fences to discover for yourself. But to celebrate the release of the book, you too can tell your story and have it published for the world by Defender Publishing. Details on how that can happen posted at skywatchtv.com. We're expanding our online offerings. We've told you about the exclusive web content at our YouTube channel. We are now adding Roku exclusives to the SkyWatch TV channel on Roku. In addition to the new programs, of course, Into the Multiverse with Josh Peck, SkyWatch Women beginning to record and produce interviews with the ladies you'll see on the SkyWatch Women's program when it launches this fall, Sci Friday, and now Roku exclusives, interviews that we couldn't fit into our regular broadcast schedule through our network affiliates. So, for bonus interviews with people like Sheila Zielinski, Gary Haven, Chuck Missler, make sure you add the SkyWatch TV channel to your Roku account, and for instructions on how to do that, log on to skywatchtv.com/Roku. This week on SkyWatch TV, Gary Haven, the writer-producer of the new film Amerigeddon, which opens May 13th, which warns us how unprepared we are for a disaster, specifically an electromagnetic pulse. To find out why it's a threat and how we can begin to prepare, check out SkyWatch TV. You'll see it Saturday afternoon on the Victory Television Network down in Arkansas and around Memphis, and then coast to coast Saturday evening on the Christian Television Network. And for a complete listing of dates and times where you can see SkyWatch TV, log on to skywatchtv.com and look for the link in the top menu bar there where it says channel listing. And speaking of video, you can bring the Rocky Mountain International Prophecy Conference into your home, live and in real time. Video streaming is available again this year. There are 3 packages available. All 32 speakers will be featured, and all the videos will be archived online, so you can watch them again, share them with your friends for up to 6 weeks after the conference. For more information and to sign up, log on to prophecywatchers.com. At SkyWatch TV, this content production requires your support. We do depend on you, and we thank you for your support. During the month of April, our thank you gift for your donation of $20 or more, this Amazing Grace glass block paperweight, and the audiobook edition of The Ahriman Gate, novel by Tom and Nita Horn. Again, that's our gift for your support, your gift of $20 or more during the month of April while supplies last. To donate, log on to skywatchtv.com/donate. And of course, we appreciate your help in just spreading the word with a click of the mouse. Click share, click like, click subscribe at these places online and help SkyWatch TV spread the word. And if you're curious about what I post online when I get motivated and inspired, you'll find it here. My email address for your comments and questions, dgilbert@skywatchtv.com. And thank you for watching. As we keep watch, I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is SkyWatch TV. Save nearly half off the cover price when you subscribe now to the brand new SkyWatch TV magazine. For a limited time from April 24th through June 24th, 60 days only, a 5-year subscription to SkyWatch TV magazine is just $99. That's more than $75 off the cover price, which is like getting 2 years for free. Exclusive content, articles on prophecy, discovery, and the supernatural from Tom Horn, Chris Putnam, Josh Peck, science updates from Sharon K. Gilbert, geopolitics from yours truly, and guest writers like Pulitzer Prize-nominated journalist Troy Anderson, renowned Bible scholar Dr. Michael Heiser, Pentagon advisor Lieutenant Colonel Bob McGinnis, and more. But there is more. As an early subscriber, you'll be the first to get this new book from Defender Publishing. I predict what 12 global experts believe you'll see by 2025. This is a $20 value and includes best-selling authors like Joel Richardson, Mark Biltz, Carl Gallups, Tom Horn, Paul McGuire, and more. Find out what they think about the coming war between ISIS and the Vatican, the future of the Temple Mount and the Ark of the Covenant, a worldwide manifestation of angels, and the coming age of human hybrids. And we'll also add this DVD, The Best of SkyWatchTV 2015, a $25 value, including our most compelling interviews from last year, including Chuck Missler, Steve Quayle, the discussion of the Georgia Guidestones with Chris Pinto, and more. All of this together worth more than $200, yours now for just $99, but only through June 24th. Subscribe now, SkyWatch TV Magazine. Just call the number on your screen or log on to skywatchtvstore.com.